guys, welcome to episode number 1 with the John Templeton Co. podcast. However, as I say that, it sounds very rigid and sounds very boxed in. We're going to keep this flowing, we're going to keep it open, and we're going to really sort of emphasize the unfiltered nature of these conversations and break away from the stereotypical podcast vibe, which we don't want, right? Because I have Amie here, and Amie will do an introduction shortly. But from what I know about Amie, her expertise, her profession, her interests, it's quite broad, it goes very deep, and so that's why we're taking away the structure and we're just going to give whatever value it is that comes from this particular episode. So I'm so excited to not only deliver this episode to you, but to also deliver ongoing episodes along this similar sort of wavelength, right? So without further ado, my favorite question is always, who are you and what do you do? Tell me a story.
So I'm Amie. I'm an online coach, a personal trainer, an entrepreneur. I love fitness, health, basically any project you can give me, I love. I'm someone that loves to push, always have something to work on. I don't like being told what to do. So hence my many different projects. I'm all sort of go. Don't like working under people. I like choosing and creating myself and just seeing what can come from it.
Amazing. So tell me a little bit more now about your sort of profession or what it is that you're working towards right now in your current career.
So right now I'm working in the health and fitness industry. My goals have always been the same: freedom. I want to create something I'm proud of. I want to create something where I can work to live, not live to work. So I want to build something where I can have the life that I want and help others have the lives they want. So I wake up every day not feeling like I'm going to work necessarily, but feeling like I'm always growing and I want to wake up and do what I want to do. Specifically that online coaching space at the moment.
So we've kicked it off right away with some profound clip moments, right? I want to work to live, not live to work. I'm like, whoa. Whoa, I wasn't prepared for that. Man, I should have prepped for a comeback to that comment. But it's so appropriate, right? This is a common theme, I suppose, in a lot of people's lives. I mean, I'm sure there's a large group of people that can't necessarily even relate to that. They're sort of stuck in the rat race. But here you are, right? Wanting that freedom. What does freedom look like? It varies from person to person, from industry to industry, from interest to interest. But it's very interesting for me to hear, of course, that you're pursuing that freedom. I think there's a lot of talking points in that regard. You will have come across several challenges. The question is freedom like an outcome or is freedom a process? What really is freedom to you?
Yeah. Freedom is the journey. You never, so I believe you never truly reach your goals. Otherwise your goals weren't high enough to begin with. You're always, every time you reach something, you're pushing that goalpost further and further back. So you want to make sure you're doing something where you enjoy the process. Now don't get me wrong, it's hard. You have to work really hard to get anywhere, and sometimes it's not fun and it doesn't feel like freedom. But as long as you're taking those small steps every day to make things easier and easier for your future self, more processes in place, building and growing, each step, every time you achieve something feels closer to that freedom. And then once you've achieved 3, 4, 5 steps, you start to really feel that freedom. So, and I think that's a really common trend I see coming through with the younger generations. They don't just want to be stuck somewhere listening to someone tell them when to have lunch, when to go home, what to do. They want to create something and have job satisfaction. So I think coming back to that freedom point, job satisfaction is freedom. So waking up being like, oh, I'm going to do this to work on my business. I'm going to do this. And that creative sort of inspiration creates that freedom, the freedom of actually wanting.
Wow, I love that. It's an interesting idea in that when we're born, we look like our parents, right? But when we die, we look like our decisions. It's so interesting because that shift happens at some point.
Yeah.
And people these days, they're dying too young and living too long, in the sense that they stop living because they forget about that innate childlike curiosity and interest in what it is that they're doing. You know, when we get to a certain point in life, you need to lock down, get the job, you got the bills, you got the responsibilities, and it sort of steals your attention away from what really matters, which is living a life aligned with your idea of freedom and fulfillment. So that's the common thread here that I'm seeing. Now, one thing I know is that it's a lot easier said than done. You know, yes, we do practice what we preach. However, sometimes we, being human, will contradict ourselves with our actions and our behaviors. And this is the part of that learning process. This is the journey. Ironically, this is what freedom really looks like, is the ability to make mistakes and learn from it and grow from it, right? So I want to hear more about your current journey. I know that you're doing a bodybuilding competition.
Yes.
I'm of a firm belief that everyone should at some point, I don't care who you are, should commit to doing a bodybuilding show. Not that you need to get big and jacked and muscly, man or woman, whatever, just commit to the process of delayed gratification for 8 months.
Yes.
It's like
Even
I'm
longer.
drinking coffee. Even longer, right?
Even longer.
So take me through that process for you.
Yeah, so I got into the industry many years ago now, 3, 4, maybe 4.5, closer to 5, I don't even know. Since I first sort of got into the industry, I've been training for a bodybuilding comp for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And I decided to go through it myself. Now, online with everything, with businesses, with competitions, with goals, you see everyone preaching this linear progress. And I think it's been really good to learn the hard way. It's not. There's constantly setbacks, and most people give up after really hard setbacks.
Someone has to learn the hard way, right?
Yeah, so
Unfortunately, it's us.
Yeah, I think
Fuck's sake.
it's been really good learning how to do everything myself. So I'm teaching myself, I am coaching myself through this, and it's a learning experience for myself, but also for my clients. I want to be a better coach, I want to be a better person, I want to always be progressing and growing. So anyway, I started bulking with the intent of learning how to build muscle, which sounds simple, sounds really easy. It is, but it isn't. At the start it is. You see constant progress, and then it plateaus out, and okay, cool, how do I break that plateau? How do I go through the next step? How do I stop giving in to every instant gratification that comes through, drinking, takeaways, which you don't. As I said, it's not linear progress. You're constantly going up and down and learning over time what is more important to me right now. Sometimes the burger fuel is more important to me in that moment, but
Sometimes.
more as you progress through, more often than not, it's not worth it so much anymore. And so you sort of learn how to shift that mindset around. So with my bodybuilding, I sort of learnt that building phase for women, how to put on weight. That can be a really big mental game as well. We're told to be small, we're told to lose weight, be thin. So trying to put on size, trying to put on muscle and coming along with that fat, and then sharing that goal. And you get people coming to you being like, oh, really? You want to be a bodybuilder? And you get that judgment. And it really makes you take a step back for a second, like, whoa, that was harsh. But I think also it taught me to keep progressing in what I want to do without having to take on other people's negative opinions. It's helped me create a stronger mind. And that was just the phase 1, building the muscle, how to build in different areas, how to create shapes, how to grow, how to stick to something even when I'm not getting thinner, I'm not feeling like, it's making me feel more uncomfortable as I bulk up, and leaning into being uncomfortable to get to that end goal that is now going to be over 3 years later.
Amazing. Yeah, right. It's like, there's lots that you said in that. But the one thing I'm picking up on as you talk about it is how common this theme is in every area of life, right? Bodybuilding is the metaphor as well. It's literal for you, but it's so relevant to every area of life, right? There's these challenges. There's the ultimate paradox, which is what you were just saying there, about how you feel like you're going backwards, but you need to persist in that same action.
Yeah.
And then come show day, boom,
Yeah.
everything tightens up, and you step on stage, and you're like, wow. But literally the day before show day, you're like, no. It's so interesting, that whole paradox. And I love how you say, of course, you have to put in the reps with all of these things. But the most important part, once again, being relevant to every area of life, is putting in the reps with the mindset. It's not going to work the first time, right? It's not going to work the first time. Just like in business, we have a phase, a tier system of how we go about something. If you're wanting to launch a business, if you're wanting to take on a new passion project, we first have to draft it, right? The idea, everything starts with an idea in our mind. And then we need to validate it, right? Does this idea make sense? Is it aligned with my values? Am I equipped to do it, right? Whether it be financially, socially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, whatever it may be. And once that box is ticked, then we can of course launch it. But there's challenges at every step of the way. Launching it now, you spoke about that judgment. You want to go tell everyone you're doing a bodybuilding show. It's like, it's already validated. Why do we care so much about the judgment from other people? It's aligned with you. That's one of the validation points. You enjoy it. It fills your cup. Why now do I care so much about what other motherfuckers think? It's so interesting, right? And this is that paradox. We're always going to be presented with ideas and thoughts and situations that, although are completely counterproductive to our cause, we're going to consider them. Following that, then we launch, and then we scale, and we grow that into other areas of our life. Sorry, went on a bit of a rant there, but it's very interesting just how challenging the process is, mainly for the mind. So everything starts here. Would you agree?
I agree. And I think the topic of other people's opinions, actually, I have maybe a bit of a controversial take on that, but
yes, I love controversy.
I think other people's opinions are extremely important. Now, that's not to say, that's not to say I need to take on board somebody's opinion. That's to say, everything in life is sale. You're either selling yourself to get a job. What are you? Who are you? You know, sell who you are. In my business, I need to constantly be selling to get new clients. Now, this isn't coming from a place of people and numbers. This is coming from a place of, I need to help you get to where you already want to be. And to do that, I need to sell that I am capable of doing it. So if I walked around as a personal trainer, not caring what anyone thought, moping around, not smiling or doing whatever, obviously that's not me, I wouldn't do well, right? So other people's opinions of my business is extremely important, but I only care about the opinions of people that I want to attract. So how you present yourself is the sale. To make friends, you know, how you present yourself. Now, it's best to be authentic. You can only put up a front for so long. People are going to see through that. But it's still, you need to smile. You need to be happy. If you're just going to sit there and just introvert yourself, there's no way you're going to progress forward.
So I love that controversial take. It's actually interesting and, of course, relevant. Of course, it's relevant, right? My idea on that, right, is that there's a contrast between opinion and counsel. Now, counsel typically comes from someone that either has the desire to achieve what it is you're wanting to achieve, or currently has what it is you're currently wanting to achieve, right? Their opinion, of course, it's counsel. Jesus Christ. It's counsel, right? So that's something you want to take on board, and you want to help guide you towards that particular outcome for yourself, and that's where you operate from. That's what you attract from, right? Because you become that person, and you attract people along that similar wavelength, especially if you stay in and around that frequency because it will attract, right? Opinion, it's very interesting. We live in a subjective and objective world. There's so many gray areas and there's so many people. Now every person is living within their own little universe.
Yeah.
And there's so many influential factors on that from the day they were born, in their DNA, in their ancestry, right? All the way through every single experience they've lived in life. Oftentimes, opinion can be very damaging to what it is you're wanting to achieve, because we have this mindset, obviously, that we are sculpting, conditioning, so that we can achieve our true ambitions in life. That's personal and that's unique. We want to be fulfilled, whatever your goal may be.
Yeah.
And so some people are not quite as switched on. Some people are very distracted. And so, to your point, I love that. It's like the little blinkers, the cat's eye on the road. That can be considered an opinion, right? It's sort of guiding you. They're little signs, so that you can just take it into account without emotion and without judgment and make your decisions from that point.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Amie is that, of course, I can really pick up on the fact that you are very analytical, right?
Overly so.
I've got a question for you on that.
Yeah.
It's not to say that you think you're the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that you think you have it all figured out. I can already tell that you're also, as well as analytical, open-minded and self-aware. This is a good combination. But I'm also very fucking analytical. And sometimes, yes, I might slip into that trap of thinking I have it all figured out. I have the perfect plan. No such thing exists. Do you suffer from that analysis paralysis?
Personally, I don't find so, because bringing you back to that point of self-awareness, I am constantly looking to improve and grow. So one of my roles in the personal training industry is a senior personal trainer. And for that role, I onboard new personal trainers, and I try to take on at least one thing from each of those brand new, never been in the industry, but I have at least one thing to learn from everybody, at least, and many times it's more. So every piece of information that is given to me is analyzed, and then I can make my own mind up on how I feel from there. Do you know what I mean? So anyone can say whatever they want, but it's my choice whether I take it on board or not. My stuff is my stuff, your stuff is your stuff, and I can choose whether to let it in or to go, you know what, I disagree. But I will find out. If I'm not sure, I'll find out. I won't just shut anything down. If I'm like, you know what, I actually don't know, let me take that on board and I will think about it. Or, you know what, that's amazing, I am using that idea, or whatever it is. I like to take everything into account.
Put the mic up a bit closer. I don't want people to miss out on what you're saying. Not that they will, obviously, they'll hear you. But there is a lot to learn, right? I love how you sort of emphasize that you want to learn something from someone that is completely new to the industry, which would imply that they have nothing to teach you, you being the senior and all. However, to teach is to learn twice. So with whatever it is that we're doing, giving value is us looking at what we've learned from perhaps a different angle, looking at the cup from a different angle. It's interesting how that evolves our understanding of something that we've already learned, right? For every level, there's a new devil. And oftentimes we forget all about what we've learned when we come into this new season of our personal development and growth. So we need to relearn it, right? And teaching someone that is what we then use for ourselves, alongside other things, as you say. Very beneficial to have that particular mindset. And I love what you said. If I don't know, I'll figure it out. What is that? That's a belief. And a belief is ultimately the most important thing. Right? That's your frequency. The universe must comply. It has to. There's no other way. Right? That's your frequency. So, wow. I wasn't expecting such a deep conversation. Not to say that you're not capable of it. It's just, I don't know. I just didn't think it would go that way.
Honestly, I don't have like these sorts of conversations with many people because it can be a lot. I'm a big believer in energy and transferring of energy in terms of your conversation with somebody is energy. You're either taking it on or you're rejecting it. And that's why back to the opinions, is that's so important because it's feedback and you can choose to take it or you can choose to reject it, but it's your choice. You choose what comes through into you. And yeah, I don't have these sorts of conversations with many people. Most people, it's hard. They don't want to get past surface level stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's not to say that they're superficial, it's to say that they are caught up in what it is that's going on the surface layer of their life, whether it be career, relationship, whatever it may be. There's always going to be challenges, and that's obviously a big goal of mine in consulting people, is to give people that lens so that they can essentially see through these superficial problems.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of a thought, right? You are not your thoughts. How can I prove that? Right? Here you are, and here's your thought. Thought comes and goes, but you remain.
Yeah.
You are not your thoughts, you are not your problems. Like whatever it is that you're experiencing, you're still going to be here tomorrow. Experiencing the same or a different issue, just as you were 5 years ago. Right? So it's funny how the mind tries to create these environments just to keep you still, right? It's brutal. Some people go their entire life without learning that. Majority of people, as you said, there's not many people that can speak to this, capacity, to this degree.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get scared of it a little bit.
Absolutely.
It's very confronting.
Absolutely.
When you listen to your own brain and you realize the mindsets or the negative thoughts that creep in when you do listen to your own brain and you don't have the ability to control it and to switch it, it can be scary. People don't want to sit in their brain.
They don't want to realize that for majority of their life, it was the tail wagging the dog. Right? This is the unconscious mind that's been controlling your conscious mind. You've actually been victim to it. And I think that is absolutely a scary realization to make. Because now, oh my God, I have awareness. Like I can see what I really want in life. I don't know how the fuck to get there. So now you have a whole new perceived kettle of, I was going to say kettle of worms. It's can of worms, right? It's kettle
of fish, can of worms.
There we go. We got there in the end. So a big point here is with this awareness, with this momentum that's currently like flourishing and compounding in your life, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, so I have a lot of goals. In 5 years, I'm going to be in a completely different place physically, mentally, and hopefully spiritually. I think every day is a progression, every day is a growth. But 5 years' time, if we're talking physical sort of changes, I want to be in the Gold Coast. I want to have travelled around the world. I want my online coaching to be more freeing than it is now. So that's not a specific number, that's not anything, it's a feeling. It's earning more to be financially free. It's helping more people to feel like I am getting more job satisfaction as well, which is freeing. It's making me more excited to keep growing and progressing. After my comp, I want to do a boxing or kickboxing match.
Hell yeah.
I want to basically have grown in every single area of my life. Mindset, everything should be different in 5 years. There should be nothing the same.
Love that.
Apart from people in my life. They should hopefully be here in 5 years.
Hopefully. And others, right?
Yeah.
Other awesome people in your life. That's cool. And I suppose the important thing about that question, you get it. As you said, you went quite specific. Is that this tomorrow never comes. There's only now, right? Just like you'll wake up tomorrow and there's now. 5 years, you'll wake up and it's now. It's like this stuff just isn't going to magically appear in your life. It's created now, right? As an idea, And that's what progressively manifests into the physical reality as something solid that we can sense with our eyes, our smell, our taste, although I can't smell, but our touch and all of these cool things, right?
Yeah.
And the most important thing, because I ask a lot of people this particular question, 1 year, 5 years, doesn't matter, is that they're not specific in any way, shape, or form. There's a difference between having a goal and being wishful in your thinking. The idea sounds romantic, it sounds cool in the mind, it takes you away, it's often a scapegoat from your current challenges and or problems. But it's not specific at all. And so in this concept of attracting, which is obviously an energy thing, which is real, that's essentially what you're attracting, right? You're attracting a vague idea. Now, that's leaving it open to present itself in whatever shape or form it wants to. Oftentimes, it's not going to be what it is you wanted, right? Because you were not specific. So what I love to challenge people to do is to actually get that journal, to get that piece of paper, and actually think of this idea as if it were solid, as if you can see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it, right? And actually become that outcome now. That's the whole acronym, right? Living as the outcome.
Yeah.
And I had to remind myself that and tattoo it on my bloody hand because it's fleeting. We often get sucked back into this physical reality and think that that is reality.
Yeah.
It's not, right? Reality is the energy beyond what we can see. And because we can't see it, people forget all about it.
I think
Does that make sense?
for me, as I've gone through this bodybuilding and online coaching journey, I've learned to trust the daily tasks the most because I'm someone that is, I'm going to be completely honest, all over the place. I am picking up new projects every single month. I'm
undiagnosed ADHD
changing I'm
Or is it
changing my
diagnosed?
mind. No, undiagnosed. I'm always like changing my mind on exactly where I want the end goal to be. It's all around the same, but on specifics. And so the way I found success is I set myself daily, weekly, monthly, yearly goals and tasks to complete. And as you'll know from bodybuilding, they compile to an end result.
Absolutely.
Now, at the moment, my tasks, I'm very specific. As much as I'm all over the place, I have structure and plan. So every single day is planned out, color coordinated on my calendar.
God damn.
I have a to-do list for every single day. I have everything profiled and organized so that the rest can be unorganized, and so everything will fall to where it does.
I love that.
So I have like my social media. I have specific goals for the end of the year, like what I want to reach. I have when to post, what to post. I have with my online coaching, my current offerings, what I'd like to progress to over the next month, over the next 6 months, over the next year. I've got these printed out on my wall at home in goals and vision board, but I don't extend past a year because
that.
my vision is constantly changing.
I love that. You don't box yourself in too
No.
much. And that's beautifully said, right? I love how you said, there's areas that are structured and it allows for you to be chaotic.
Yeah.
So that it can evolve. You can evolve. You're giving yourself space to evolve.
Yeah.
It's like that you put a shark in a fish tank and it will only grow to the scale of that tank.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas if you put it in the ocean, it'll grow into a fucking great white shark, right? And rip some limbs off.
Organized so we can be chaotic.
Absolutely. That's interesting. So I think today, right, it's been interesting. And so thank you for being here. The tangent that we followed is certainly the spiritual and the mental organization in order to achieve, how should I say this, true fulfillment, right? Continued fulfillment, sustainable fulfillment. I think that's a topic that not many people touch on, especially even in and around the topic of success. It's just about the outcome. It's just about the outcome. It's just about the strategy and how to get there. It's very, as you say, linear.
Yeah.
This process is not linear, right?
No.
We want it to follow an upward trend, but it's going to go up and down.
Yeah.
There's going to be challenges. Now, if anyone can talk on challenges, I know you can. I certainly can. Right.
Yeah.
Traumatic brain injury at 19.
Wow.
Rocked me, changed my life. I was on the front page of the newspaper for miraculous recovery. My life completely changed. You know, I was naturally extroverted. I was excelling in business. I had the big social circle. I had the perfect girl. I already had my own house. I had all these cool things, right? And then that head injury changed my life completely. Not long after that, I was homeless for a while because my relationship fell through. I couldn't work. I lost my house. All of these things happened, right? And then I got back up on my feet. And then things started to progress upwards again. And then what was next? I've had a heart attack at certain points, one point. But there's constant challenges that are going to face you in life, whether it be literal, physical challenges, whether it be financial, whether it be mental. You know, sometimes we forget about that idea of being your biggest fan, and we instead become our own biggest critic.
Yeah.
Critic. What the hell? I couldn't say that. And we derail our own progress and momentum. So it's lovely to hear. It's very refreshing to speak with you and to hear just what it is you're doing and how it is you're doing it.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of summary notes from you?
Don't think about it too hard, just do it. I spent way too long trying to plan and organize and didn't start anything until I had everything nailed out perfectly. It delayed me, and now I feel like I'm starting so late with some things and I could have been way further ahead. So if I have one thing that I regret, in fact, don't regret, I just learnt from it, but if I could tell my younger self one thing, it would be to start, figure it out as you go, because any action is better than no action. Any action.
You heard it here, folks, right? So don't plan and move. What we want to do is move while planning, right? Because that's what opens the pathway, and you simply need to trust the process, right? It's cliche as much as it isn't. It's very practical. It's compound interest, right? The eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. I love saying that because it truly is. Once you have faith and you take that leap of faith, my God, it just opens up for you, and it becomes simple. And it leads to this moment right now. Why did I not start sooner? Right? You kick yourself because now you trust yourself. Now you have it. But how powerful could I be right now if I started that 5 years ago before I realized it, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. And I can relate to you in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, without rambling on, because we could talk for literally hours, right? That was powerful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Peace.